Okay. Good evening. Sorry. We are like we've been doing, we're just going to come on, we're going to train for about 30 minutes and then we're going to work. But this is something that we felt very strongly about talking to you guys about, and that is just making sure, because it is boom season and we do have these codes, making sure that we are training the people we're bringing in, because sometimes when we get these codes and like when we get these promos and we have stuff like bonuses coming in, we have more people coming in than normal, than we may normally be used to, and sometimes that can be overwhelming trying to train them all. So we wanted to just kind of hit the high points. We're each going to talk a little bit about stuff that we thought was really important, and then we're going to get to work. So the first thing is we wanted to talk about the importance of training and why. And I feel like that some of y'all are probably like, I don't need you to tell me that, but we're just going to go over all of it. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is get it out of your head that you have to know everything. You do not have to know everything when you are helping train somebody. Nobody expects you to. I still don't know everything. I would say not one of the leaders on here know everything. Okay. Nobody knows everything. We still have to ask questions sometimes. All right. I am a huge believer in it's less about what you say to the person, like less about what you say and what you know with the person you're training, and more about how you make them feel, right? Like, do they feel encouraged? Do they feel supported? Do they feel like they made the right decision? We never want somebody to regret joining our team, right? I know everybody's probably talked to somebody at some point as far as potentials go, and they say like, oh, I didn't get a lot of training, or I didn't get a lot of help on X, Y, and Z team or in this company. And we never want to be that team or that company or whatever. So let go that you have to know it all, first of all. The second thing is, why do we train? And I feel like this is super self-explanatory, because tell me what job you guys have ever been to that you didn't need some kind of on-the-job training, right? Like whether it was job skills, systems, terminology, whatever. I was thinking back when I was going over my notes, I was thinking back all the way back to like my very first job. I worked at the concession stand at the Abilene Swim Club. Okay. They didn't have to teach me how to get a candy bar out of the refrigerator, right? Like that, nobody had to teach me that, but they had to teach me, like how to start the money box every morning, how to start it, or how to close it out in the evenings, how to clock in, how to clock out, stuff like that. So there's, from the very most basic job, I feel like that's pretty basic, right? I don't know how much more basic you can get as working the concession stand at a swim club. You got to know something. You got to have some sort of knowledge, okay? So that's the other thing is, why is it your job to help train them and not your enrollers? Because they trusted you. They enrolled with you. They want to learn from you. Okay. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean we're not going to help you guys. That doesn't mean we're not here to support you through it and be on those one-on-ones and help you. But we are not going to do it for you, because how are you ever going to learn if we do it for you? Right? Like you might look up 3 years in and you're still being like, Jamie, will you train my newbie? No, you got to learn some point, right? All right, let us walk you through it. Let us help you. We want to give you guys the power to lead your people, right? We want to bring up leaders. We want everybody at the top with us, okay? We want everybody opening checks with commas. And this is the way, making ourselves duplicatable and training people to do what we do. That's the way you're going to see those commas in the paycheck. And that's the way that you're going to see the success in this business, okay? Because I'm going to kind of segue into my next thing. I don't care how high of an enroller you are. If your team does not grow and learn, your paycheck will not grow and learn. Okay. High enrollers, I'm not saying that they do not get high checks. It's temporary. You know why? Because fast starts and cabs only pay out one time. So for 1 month, your check may look real good. And for 1 month, your fast starts may look real weak or whatever it is. But if you are not teaching them to do what you do and how you do it, your check will not go up. It just won't, okay? So it's awesome to be a high enroller, but it's awesome to be able to teach people what you do, okay? Our comp plan is strategically built on you will only succeed if the people underneath you do. And that is the heart of our corporate, right? Like that, it makes perfect sense. So And to be perfectly honest, guys, that's when it gets fun anyways, all right, is when you're getting those wins. That's what I've really kind of figured out about myself is I'm not as money driven as I thought I was. I'm like win driven, like when people are getting, like when we're winning. So I don't think Gina is on. Gina on? Okay, so I'm gonna go into her part. The second part is don't overcomplicate the training, okay? I'm gonna say, this is a very easy one. You got to keep it simple. A confused mind says no. We know that, right? So if you give them too much, they say, no, I don't know what I've gotten myself into. I can't do this. And they back away slowly, okay? They may not like close the Zoom down slowly on you, but like you can tell when you're losing people, right? So do not, the thing, and I may have gotten this from Jen, I don't even know where I got this, but what I've been telling people is don't stress about memorizing everything we're teaching you right at the beginning. And it's mainly, I think, the Google Doc is when I'm going over the Google Doc, like I make sure and tell them, do not worry about memorizing all this. I just need you to be knowledgeable of it. I just need you to be able to like, oh yeah, I've heard that word before. I'm familiar with this. You do not have to memorize it. There's not a test later. You don't have to write an essay. We're just talking, me and you, okay? And again, that goes back to you don't have to know everything, okay? We're not expecting them to. You don't have to know everything, so don't overcomplicate it. And then the last thing that I'm a checklist person, like I'm a to-do list person. So when I want to set like mini goals for myself if I'm training a person. So like the first thing is like we've been having these one-on-ones. The second thing is, do they have a hundreds list started? The third thing is, have they made the first post? The fourth thing is, each loyal, like, are they getting loyals? Fifth thing is like, make yourself a checklist so that it doesn't overcomplicate it for you and it doesn't overcomplicate it for them, so that they don't feel like you're throwing 92 things at them at once. All right, today's our one-on-one. Tonight we start our list. Tomorrow we do this. Tomorrow we do that. Very simple. Like keep it simple for you and for them so that nobody's getting overwhelmed and nobody's getting confused. So just don't overcomplicate the training. That's number 2. And then I'm going to hand it off to Jen for number 3.
Okay, let me know if my thing starts going crazy, Jamie. I can usually tell by your face or expression if it goes. Okay, so mine is just kind of talking about, now we've done all the hard work. We all know how big of a win it feels when we get that distributor in the freaking system. It's like they just didn't take the code, y'all. They got the code and you got the email that says, congrats, somebody's joined your team. Like, we know that's one of our biggest wins in here, and there's nothing that feels better than that, okay? But your job has just started. You have now become a leader to this person, and it's the freaking best win ever. But y'all, getting that person in the system means nothing if you don't do the training and if you don't use the Google Doc as a guide, okay? The Google Doc is not for you to hand over to newbie number 1 and say, here you go. Y'all, just think of this right now. Think about how much y'all still need myself, Jamie, and Stormy on a daily basis. If you're not new and you haven't been in this business, less than 7 days, everyone outside of that, think about how much you are still messaging Jamie, still messaging Stormy, still messaging myself or Gina on a daily basis. And you've been in here weeks, months, years. What if we left y'all and just was like, meh? You cannot do that to these people. We all know, like, entering this is so overwhelming, just like a new job where you know nothing. So the Google Doc is a simple checklist, and everybody can use it a different way. But how I'm using this Google Doc is simply saying, hey, this is your 14-day checklist. You and I will be going over little things each day out of this. On day 14, I will be checking with you to make sure everything is checked out. Okay, submitted, it's done. I'm going to tell you right now, this has been available to our team for 2 months now, and there's 7 people who have submitted this. And that tells me we're not using it. And that alone lets me know we need to be better about that, okay? It's a simple checklist. It lets them know kind of on the high level. 2, you need to make sure that you're checking in with your people with this Google Doc. It's not a forget, here we go, push them to the side. This Google Doc is a really simple way of y'all of having quick wins. And today, I don't know if Stormy's going to implement it on her other legs or if Jamie is, but I've also implemented a DT checklist where it is legit, where it is your sample introduction post. I even tell you exactly what to text them. I even tell you exactly their first PDT message and the script. I tell you the exact PDT message and the script. I tell you the exact things you're covering on all of your one-on-ones with your team. I tell you, I mean, y'all, you have their resources. They're there. But they do not want to hear from me if I didn't enroll them. They want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from anyone else telling me and giving me the ins and outs, because we all know I'm red. If my person who enrolled you is completely yellow and they're yellow like my person, I'm going to scare them to death if they don't know me. Because if it's people who's followed me or people who's talked with me, they're going to know who I am. They're not going to know, or they're not going to know who I am if you've signed them. So us leaders are there for sure to help guide you through this process, and we will absolutely help you, but we will not train for you. Okay. If you're a new DT, we will absolutely help you go through your first person. But y'all, we have the exact same 24 hours. And think about how many people we're helping train during right now, plus are personally enrolled. Okay. So use that Google Doc, open it up, read it yourself. I had somebody tell me on my team, you know, I have to be honest, I sent this to my person. I hadn't read it. Oh, I didn't even know that was in there. Oh, y'all, read it. I promise you. We've spent a lot of time creating these documents for you, and they do provide great tools for you and great tools for them. And then next, I'm going to go to who's number 4. Jamie's going to kind of go into, all right, you got him in the system, and what do you do next?
Okay, guys. So I am going to definitely talk about what we do next, but I kind of want to rewind a little bit and piggyback on some things that Stormy was saying. So she was talking about that, and so was Jen, about when you sign a distributor, it's a huge win for you. It's a huge boost. You'll all know how hard we work to get these people on the computer. But on the flip side of that, I am always thinking about that other person. In their first week, they have trusted us to guide them. They have watched our journey, or maybe they just reached out to us randomly on Facebook. But either way, we're the mama bear. So I always think like it takes time to do those things. And believe you me, I have failed more times than I've succeeded, I'm sure, at training people. But especially in a season like this where you are enrolling multiple people and those people are then going and enrolling multiple people and then those people are enrolling. It's like newbies training newbies. So you want to make sure. That's why Jen, Stormy, Gina, and myself have poured ourselves into these training documents and all of that. This team, I know that I cover it with my newbies when we do our one-on-ones, but this team has been around for a really long time, which is kind of unheard of in network marketing. Our ambassador has been with the company for over 8 years, and you don't create legacy like that without digging in and partnering with people. So that's so important. Stormy was talking about keeping it simple, and we've tried to simplify it as much as possible, especially by giving you these tools. But the company at the heart of this, you guys, is Steps to Success. They don't say put 48 people in the computer and just go. They say put 3 people in the computer and teach them how to do what you're doing. That is hand in hand. They only say 3 because they want you to teach those people. They know that you can't teach 48 people. They know that you can teach 3 people. They know that you can duplicate yourself that many times without giving up your whole life to do this. So that was what I wanted to say about that, but it's just so important, y'all. So you get them in the computer. The first thing that you want to do is have a one-on-one with them. No matter if you met on Instagram, you've known them your whole life, whatever. Business is different. And it sets the tone for the fact that communication is key. If you are a newbie on this Zoom, especially if you were on a one-on-one with me, you have heard me say communication is key. I want you to feel like you're annoying me. And Jen, Stormy, Gina, anybody that has been in this business long enough and trained somebody, they will tell you we want to hear from you guys. Communication is key, and that one-on-one opens up the gate. You get to talk to me as a person. You get to talk to Jen, your enroller, whoever, as a person. We get to hear your why. We get to talk to you about business basics. We're going to talk to you about how, and if you're training somebody, you want to talk to them about how they learn best. Do they work full time? Are we going to have to do this in the evenings? Are they a morning person? Is text better? Is messenger better? Are they face to face? Like Elena shared some little graphics that she created because she was like, I'm a really visual person. What if your person that you're training is a really visual person and you're sending them all audio, like pre-recorded messages? You want to train them how they can best be trained, but we want to give you the tools to take the overthinking out of it. Just like for our new people that we're bringing into our team, we want to take the brain work out of it until they get that muscle, until they've figured out how to work this business on a daily basis. So that all starts, and you set the tone for your whole relationship in that one-on-one. I think they are so, so important. And I know we've been doing them really, really well this past month and a half. And I am super proud. I feel like we've got some people that are working and in the system and communicating, and it just works. So that was the first thing I was going to touch on. You need to have a one-on-one and have whoever if you're not a diamond and up, have your diamond and up sponsor on with you. And even if you are a diamond and up and you want me, Jen, Stormy, or Gina on there with you guys, holler at us. We will happily hop on them with y'all. Y'all creating teams of your own is awesome. And the only way that you can learn, I'm a hands-on person. So if I hop on and watch Stormy do a really awesome training, like, great, that's how I learn. So if you want me to hop on yours and me do a really awesome training with your new person, like, watch and learn. And then you can try it next time and I can be on with you and we can talk about it afterwards. It's a learning opportunity. But we're here for that, and we would love to be on those with you guys. You need to make them a priority. Let's see. So both of my bullet points, I'm glad Stormy gave them to me. I didn't even ask for them, but I was kind of hoping for them because they go hand in hand. You want to set the tone for the fact that communication is key. You want to open that line with them, and then you want to keep the line open. Communication every single day, daily check-ins. I am a crazy hot mess mom. I have a big growing team, and I have leaders pushing all over the place for 9 kind of promotions. I'm talking to customers. I've got haps going off. I've got 2 kids, a husband, 2 dogs, a partridge, and a pear tree. Y'all, I am not even kidding. I set reminder alarms on my phone. My phone goes off 3 times a day and says, check on your newbies. Even if it's just hey, how are conversations going? Hey, have you gotten your post up yet? Hey, what can I help you with? Hey, I haven't gotten a screenshot from you today. Are you having conversations? What's going on? Hey, I haven't heard from you all day long and it's 6 o'clock. I apologize. I haven't checked in with you yet. Is everything okay? Because y'all know, like they were saying, I don't remember if it was Jen or Stormy, but like they were saying, it's never like a slam the door, walk away. It's always kind of like a slow fade when the newbies start backing up. If you're not talking to them daily, you don't even notice the slow fade. And so it's so important to talk to them every single day, check in with your people, love on them, and care from them. We the 3 of us that are talking right now did not get where we were by walking away from people. And if people choose to walk away from us, that's fine. Love them and gracefully let them walk away, because a lot of times they come back and you want to welcome them with open arms. Sometimes it's a life thing, sometimes it's a whatever thing, but communication is key, and it is literally the key to success. If you do nothing else, talk to your newbies every day. You between the 2 of you, you will figure out the answer, or you can pull in a lifeline to get the answer. The last thing I want to say is take pride in training who you've got. Like I said, they trusted you to get them started in this business and to guide them to success. And I want to excuse me, make sure that I'm not missing anything. Um, yeah, so, and them guide you, you guide them to success. So you want to make sure that you are wholeheartedly doing that. There are, what is it, like 100,000 distributors or something in the US? Like they could have picked anybody, but they picked you. So they value you for whatever reason. So you need to value them also. So that's really about it. Just take pride in your training, open up that line of communication. It's so much easier when you are communicating. And like Jen said, the people that are still in our inboxes every day and the ones that are showing up every single day are the ones that are making moves in their business. So that starts as a newbie. And then as you get stronger and keep going, you keep showing up for your business. You may show up for them as their newbie, and they may only show up for you because they don't feel confident, but they keep showing up because they gain that confidence, and then they keep showing up for themselves in their own business. So just communication is key. That's what I'm going to end it in. Check in, schedule one-on-one, open that line, check in every single day, keep that line open. And yeah, I think Jen, are you next?
Yes. And
Okay.
kind of like Jamie said, going into the new, it's like if people leave us, you know, it's bless and release and love them going, but they're not going to leave because we failed them on training them. Do you know how many people have come back to my team from another team because that was their main reason they left? They had no team, they had no upline, they started the business and their person basically left them. And so that will not be our reason. Y'all, all three of us on right now, and I say all three because Gina's not on here, but Gina actually was working at the time too. I know a lot of y'all work. I get it. Like your three leaders right here understand it. All three of us went actually all four of us were double plus while working full time, y'all. And all four plus of us enrolled majority of our team and had to train them ourselves with our 10+ hour job. So we understand it is hard. We understand it is hard to do that. It is hard to have a family, and it is hard to still have a life, but we also all three know it's realistic because we've all did it. It wasn't just only Jamie was able to handle it out of the four, or only me, or only Stormy, or only Gina. All four of us made it possible. So we know it is realistic. So it's about willing to work with your sponsor or somebody else and say, you know what, I'm struggling balance, and let's figure out how I can do this. Okay. And my next thing I really, really want to talk about is like, y'all, the why. If you have been on one of my new one-on-ones lately, I put most in this. I put most into why are they doing this? What do they want out of this? And really get it out of them. And y'all, it's not just for their benefit, because it is. It's to help them when they're struggling or things are hard. It's also one, it lets you know what pace to kind of put somebody at. If somebody says they want $100 to 200, you're not going to give them the same amount that somebody who's like, I need 500 plus a month yesterday. So it helps with that. But y'all, it helps with you as a leader. I will say this open, honestly, like, and just completely transparent. I've shared this with my team. I've had really hard times in this business too. I've had really hard lives, from deaths to cancer to my baby sick, from failure to thrive to my kid in the hospital off and on, to, you know, my brother-in-law passing away, to our infertility. I've had life hit me hard at times where I myself wanted to walk away and didn't want to do this anymore, even with my postpartum. But you know what? Every single person on my team's why is what kept me here. Every single person who's cried to me on my shoulder and said, I'm tired of being behind on my, my bills. Somebody who's told me I am negative in my account. I can't pay for a HAP right now. Somebody who says, I can't even put groceries on the table. I'm in debt from student loans, or whatever it may be. Those things are what push me as a leader, and it's going to push you too. So if you're somebody that has people underneath you or a distributor underneath you, if you do not know every single person's why under your team, whether you have personally enrolled them or not, it's time to get going. Because y'all, when you're down on yourself and you're doubting your business, when you have a team underneath you that has a why and they're not showing up, you get to use it. When you have a team that is showing up and you're doubting this business, you have a why to help you. Okay. So getting to know your newbies' whys, getting to know your team's whys is always such a great thing. And it's excitement. It's a fire in you that really does allow you to want to work harder in this business. And as we all know, your why should always be reevaluated. I like to reevaluate mine quarterly, honestly, because sometimes part of our why is short term. It's not always long term. And so I really, really challenge you on your one-on-ones. You know, your one-on-ones need to happen within your first 24, 48 hours. If they are not, you need to let myself, Jamie, and Stormy know, because one of us needs to have that one-on-one. It is not to replace yours, but you have to get people going. Enough with this waiting 4 or 5 days of this. Like, we're not doing that. That's not the team. We're not doing that. We have a sense of urgency. We have bonuses, and so do you. And so waiting to get your people started is not going to be okay. So we need to have those one-on-ones in your first 24 hours because they joined you for a reason. They have a why as well. And so the next is, I don't know who's next. Is that you, Stormy? Are you covering the next two because of Gina? Okay.
Okay, so the next thing is, and there's only two more, and this is just, I want you guys to know, and I feel like most of you guys do know this, but there are some very, very new people on with us. You guys, y'all can do everything right. Everything. You can check in every single day. You can send them every single message, every single post, all the things. And you are still going to have people that will not answer you. They will not work, and they will not show up for you. They won't show up for themselves. They won't show up for the business. Okay. It's going to happen. I wish that I could tell you that it's not, but it is. It is part of it. You know, it's kind of like the whole quote, what is it? Do what others won't do to live like they won't live, or whatever it is. Not everybody. The best thing about this business is that we can work it in our own time, and we're in charge of how much we make. That's also the hardest thing for a lot of people. Okay. We live in a society where most of us have to be at a job at a certain time and stay till a certain time. And we have to do X, Y, and Z while we're there. And then we go home. And so this kind of industry is very self-driven, and everybody is not cut out for it. That's just the bottom line. Everybody, and it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be they're going through something like a time in their life, like Jen was saying, you know, like life has hit all of us at some point or another when we were in this business. I think the difference is that the times that it has hit us, we were already established in our business. You know, maybe somebody gets hit hard like 5 days into their business and they're not established and they don't have that, something keeping them. So I want you guys to know that you can do everything right by somebody and they still might walk away. Okay. They still might ghost you or whatever. But we have to make sure that we lay our head down every night or at the end of the night or day or week or whatever, and make sure that we did our part, right? There's nothing on our hearts that like, what could I have done differently? Or did I fail that person? Or did I do this? And part of that, I was talking to Kaylin today and I was looking, I don't think she's on, but we were talking about just asking if you have somebody that is maybe, and I'm just going to give some examples, like they're not messaging or they're not posting or they're still wanting like you to give them everything. Kind of dig deeper with that. Don't assume they're lazy. Don't assume they're scared of messages. Don't assume that they are writing this off. Dig deeper and figure out why, you know, why aren't they comfortable talking about the products? Maybe they haven't used a lot of them. Maybe they don't, you know, maybe they're not real sure about them. Maybe it's just because they're not understanding what the post should look like. And that's what me and her were going through all this. And I gave her a whole bunch of questions to ask some of the people that she's training, because we don't know why, right? Like we don't know why. So, and that's what I've had to learn is saying, sometimes when you say, how can I help you? Or what do you need from me? Our new people don't know. They don't know what they need from us because they're new, right? They don't know yet. So that's our job to kind of try to figure out and dig a little bit deeper and say like, okay, let's talk about why these messages scare you. You know, like, is it because you're afraid to create it on your own? Or is it because you're afraid of what this person's going to think of you? Or you are, you know, whatever it is, and work through that with them. And then the last thing is, I literally wrote, we can't be lazy when we're training, you guys. We cannot be lazy. All right. You know, like I was talking about your full-time jobs, you have a certain work ethic you have to put into your full-time job to get paid. And if you think that this business is not the exact same, you are wrong. And I am not saying your 100% of your time should be spent with your current team or training new distributors. I don't believe it should, because you've got to keep bringing in new people, right? And keep that fire in. But you have got to make sure you're putting effort into training the people that sign with you and sticking with them, because again, your paycheck will not grow if theirs is not growing. Okay. If they are not growing, you are not growing. Your team is not growing. Your paycheck's not growing. So that's the first thing. And just because here's the deal, it's like, this work is easy, right? Manually, it's easy. But just because it's easy doesn't mean we don't have to do it. Doesn't mean if we don't do it, we're still going to get paid. That's not the way it works. So ultimately, if you're lazy in your training, it's going to come back to bite you in the rear, right? Like I said, that was PG. It's going to come back to bite you in the rear. And then lastly, yes, lazy training, lazy employees. That's exactly right, Abby. It'll trickle down. It'll bite you in the butt. No codes left behind. This is Jen. Now all I can think of is the troll song now because of that. But yeah, so you guys, so many times we have people who, how many times a day or a week do you guys hear that somebody can't afford our business, right? Or we're talking about Klarna with them or whatever it is. This is what so many of you have been asking for, the codes. This is what so many of our potentials have been asking for, praying for, wishing for. We cannot waste it. We cannot waste this season. We cannot waste this opportunity. We got to be louder about what we're doing and the bonuses. We have to be braver. We have to, send more messages. We have to do all the things while we have this season, this momentum on our side, and these codes, you guys. This is what we needed. This is what our potentials needed to grow our team. So let's not leave any of them behind, okay? Can we offer codes if we don't have them? I think we can find you a code, yes. I mean, we don't get extras for being like a certain rank. That's not how it works, but I think we can definitely find you one.
There will be no codes left behind. Like literally, if we will find some for you, Abby, or anybody that doesn't have any. No one's going to deny if they have 3 codes left with 20 minutes left and you have somebody. We'll find you.
So that's pretty much all I had, you guys.
I want to tack on one thing. Okay. Before we transition to training. So we do have some newbies on with us tonight. So one, congrats for y'all coming to maybe your first or second team huddle. I hope that you walk away from this knowing how much we want to do right by you guys. We really do put a lot of heart and soul and work into making sure that, one, we're training y'all right and providing our teams with the tools that they need to train you guys right. But 2, that the girls that are training you and are enrolling you, and even you, when it's your turn to train your newbie, then we will then have your back and roll those same tools out for you. We take this super seriously, and it is so, so important, and we are here for all of you guys. Saying that, please match us. Please match our efforts. Please show up for us. It's so hard. If you're new in the business and you haven't gotten to the no's yet, you'll get there. But it's hard when you get told no. It's hard when you get ghosted or when somebody goes silent on you. So give yourself, give your business, give your upline a chance for this to work for you. So just keep showing up. It is a process, and just keep showing up. Do us that favor and just keep showing up and trusting us to do the things that we need to do to help you be successful. So I see several names that I'm like, oh, I don't know that person, or oh, that person is brand new on our team. I did a one-on-one with her a couple days ago. Like, that's so awesome. So keep showing up, keep checking in, keep responding. If there's something that you need help with or that is not going well for you, we don't know what we don't know, just like you don't. So help us help you. That's really all I wanted to say, because I did see some new faces.
All right. Well, I am going to stop the recording and we can get into work Zoom mode.
Yeah. And some of y'all got on the Zoom. You can stop the recording, Stormy. You don't have to save this one.